Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. I hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. Welcome back to VALORANT News, and as the last chance qualifier chugs along, two more fantastic games to dive into from yesterday, but also Sentinels fixing their mistakes it seems ahead of their upcoming game today with Shopify Rebellion. Shroud learning how to drop the spike, that might be critical if they want to make a run here at the LCQ. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always, I'd greatly appreciate it. Really up to the channel. Thanks very much indeed for doing that one. First of all, of course, lots to talk lately about the franchise league next year, the partnership league. Evil Genius is of course presently involved in the LCQ. They did their partner program interview with Riot. Some images actually here I thought were rather interesting. So probably 20 teams from each region are doing interviews with Riot to kind of see whether they want to allow them into the partnership league for next year. And then they'll choose about 10 or so from each region. So yes, Evil Geniuses, they had their partner interview. Will they get selected? Who knows? But if they presented some good financials and some good kind of ambition for the future, that may well be the case. Liquid, of course, another team we would expect to get in. They have finally confirmed their coaching change that we talked about to be rumoured for, honestly, months at this point. We thought that Sliggy was going to be gone, I think probably 3 months ago we talked about this rumour. The Sliggy was out and then Emil was in. Kind of, I'm pretty sure Emil, one of Scream's old friends from the early Counter-Strike days. Yes, Emil is in, Sliggy is gone. And then also Dimisic, as I just showed there, kind of a, well, pretty well-known player. If you guys have followed Counter-Strike for a while, you'll certainly know this name. He's going to be joining Liquid Valorant as well for the LCQs. That's the change they're making. Will that work out for them, right? Because of course they dropped Link. Link seemingly is going to be joining Ascend, I think was the rumor that's going on over there. So definitely is spicing things out ahead of the EMEA LCQ, which starts in just a couple of days. I think the EMEA LCQ actually starts tomorrow. So I mean, that's pretty good. So yes, this was the Liquid's confirmation of their team. This is also just to mention from the APAC region, which is currently ongoing. Boom Esports took down Bleed in the upper finals. They now have to battle themselves through the lower finals up against Gen.G that took out Team Secrets if they want to make it back here. So yes, it does seem like the team that's going to get through from APAC is not going to be Team Secrets. It's going to be one of these three that you guys can see on the right-hand side of your screen. Let's talk about the NALCQ then, because Angel, of course, most recent winner of Masters Copenhagen with FPX, says the following: I probably should stop watching NA. Screaming at my monitor is not normal, right? He's made many comments about the fact that, like, NA, they don't play the greatest Valorant in the world. It's frustrating for an IGL with the tenure of Angel and the understanding of the game as Angel, like just watching what some of these guys do on a regular basis. But he does actually give some credit, in fairness, to NRG and 100 Thieves, saying these guys are actually good, like DDK says. And honestly, like, watching these guys play last night was an absolute treat. 100 Thieves especially pulled out so much damage and effectiveness from their utility. It's actually incredible. It's honestly a Sean Gares special. Of course, they've got mics over there as well, but I know that Sean Gares, as the coach of this team, is all over this type of stuff. NRG looked very solid as well. I had 100 Thieves winning yesterday in this 2-1 fashion that they did, but I now have NRG making a crazy losers bracket run. So we'll see if that happens as the tournament continues. I definitely think they have what it takes watching it yesterday. But 100 Thieves NRG, game 1, it goes all the way down to the wire, as you might predict at this tournament so far. Every single series, doesn't matter who might be favoured against another team, doesn't seem to matter, right? Like, we just go all the time, it's overtimes, it's 13-11s, it doesn't matter, it's always going to happen. But this shot from TenZ here was pretty good as well. He takes this out and just bang, gets the shot, chambers away, as you might expect. And yes, NRG end up taking this game 1 13-11 in their favour. But 100 Thieves bounce back impressively in game 2, and then they go on to win the game 3 as well. There was actually a crazy clip here on the binds that I'll share for you guys at the end of the video when, I mean, Tarek's kind of reacting to it, right, where they use the fades and a brimstone combo so effectively. They get the bomb down, they get the kind of area effect thing where you get trapped in the zone. And I think, honestly, when Fade was first revealed, it was like, okay, wow, she has a lot of potential for comboing with other agents, and Brimstone would be a great example, right? Okay, what if you trapped people in the circle and then Brim ulted them? That would be pretty funny. And that's basically exactly what happens right here. So Will and Bang, honestly, Bang, you can always count on this guy to get his kills. The entire team played well here, 100 Thieves, and NRG just about fell short. The guys are hyped about it. They go through to the next round to play up against FaZe Clan, which is, I mean, look, it only gets harder for 100 Thieves as times progress, but I honestly think NRG are a very good team. So this is an impressive victory for them, but FaZe are probably a step above. That match, I believe, is played tomorrow. We'll look at the schedule here in just a couple of minutes' time. Of course, NRG Ethan, he wasn't necessarily the happiest man as a result of this sad ending. He says we go next because, of course, Ethan effectively made the call to leave 100 Thieves and decide to go to NRG, and obviously doesn't work out for him in this particular series. Like, they're still in the tournament. They could still make a run. I actually had in my bracket NRG beating the losers bracket teams and actually taking down 100 Thieves in a rematch after potentially FaZe drop 100 Thieves to losers. But like, that's all theoretical at this point, right? We have no idea what's going to happen here. Like, this tournament seems so unpredictable so far. Everything's going game 3 overtimes, 13-11s. It's absolute madness, right? But Ethan might be thinking to a certain degree in the back of his mind, should I really maybe have left 100 Thieves and decided to, given they were building a project I wasn't so confident in, given the fact that they now seem to be the better team on the day. Everyone goes positive outside of Will. Ethan 15 in 44 over 3 different agents. And then the second series was Cloud9 versus Shopify Rebellion. This Shopify Rebellion team, former LG, I do honestly think they're really good. I think they're really talented roster, but Cloud9 are just a little bit too strong. They're boot camping right now in the OpTic camp. And yeah, they were looking rather impressive indeed. This was kind of crazy as well. Actually, new strategy, as Nilias points out right here. Like, this guy breaks down the wall and then actually changes his crosshair. I'll bring this up on the big screen for you guys. He you see him going into the menu and just changes his crosshair mid-game. It's like, what is this new strategy right here? But I mean, yeah, it seems to work out for SR on some of their defensive rounds, but Cloud9 in the end just about come back on their offense and take this game 1, and then they also take the game 2 as well. This was, some good plays here on the Ascent in general. Vanity in this 3 versus 4 making some big plays to help Cloud9 clutch up this rounds, which, was certainly necessary. The one way there on the Omen smoke was pretty nasty indeed, and then game 2, as usual, just goes to a crazy overtime where eventually it's Cloud9 that come out on top. So a 2-0, I thought, honestly, every single series in this entire tournament was going to go 3 maps, but it doesn't happen here. Cloud9 closes out in 2. SR go down to losers. And this is, I thought, impressive from Cloud9, because SR are not a bad team by any means. But yeah, Cloud9 marginally too strong with some new practice with their roster with Curry, and now, of course, getting comfortable with the team. And even as Zephyr says, Chamber nerf is going to hit hard. This was the other key storyline of this series, is that B-Dog on former LG Shopify Rebellion is just unbelievably good. The impact this guy has, especially on the Chamber, is out of control. And honestly, this guy, he's solidifying his paycheck the next season, right? Doesn't matter what happens to SR, which teams get a spot in the partnership league. I'm sure they're going to have eyes on B-Dog. And I think even people would wonder if, okay, 100 Thieves, should they get a guy like B-Dog if things don't work out for them? Okay, Will, the questions are there about what they should do with their Chamber player, because Will didn't exactly light the world on fire in their series, but in this series, despite losing, B-Dog was plus 13, 55 in 42, loads of impact. Look at the ACS difference between him and the rest of the team. 14 first kills, most in the lobby, to just 6 first deaths. Moose didn't even add a first kill. But I mean, yeah, these numbers were insane. This guy was doing it all. He was honestly 1v9ing at times. And I'm sure teams are going to keep an eye on B-Dog's services if, of course, they go out of the tournament quickly, which might well be the case depending on who they play in the losers bracket. And actually, the team they do play is none other than Sentinels tonight. And the big talking point out of their game in their first game up against the Guard was, okay, why is Shroud just constantly planting the bomb? Why is the bomb not with dapr? Why has he not got it right with, of course, the Sage, put up the wall, get the bomb down? Whereas what was happening is that the wall would go down, and then Viper, that being Shroud, would have to rotate in on Icebox for, so far away from the action. And by the time the bomb actually went down, the spike actually went down, the rotations were way too quick. So he's currently leading the LCQ in bomb plants with 15 bomb plant Shrouds, and that might well go up tonight, but actually, he might well give the spike over to another player, because they seem to have realized that was a key mistake that was holding them back, right? Sentinels, they kind of got it all, talent, viewership, but they don't necessarily know who should plant, right? So they're trying to figure this one out. And this is a great piece of content that came out yesterday here from ShahZaM. As you can see, Shroud is kind of practicing here at the boot camp, and he's practicing dropping the spike. He's going over, picking the spike up, and then dropping it right back down. Here he is on Icebox on the offensive side. He goes and picks the spike up, and then he drops it back down, because apparently he was, for whatever reason, was just addicted to picking up this spike, right? He goes on to explain it. He says, his ethos says from NRG, you're telling me it wasn't intentional, and that he just kept accidentally grabbing the bomb. I legitimately thought there was some crazy reasoning behind having Shroud plant instead of dapr that my brain was just too small to understand. But as Shroud says, let's just say I got too comfortable holding onto the spike the past month. Stupid mistakes, man, right? And that's even what, ShahZaM said, that, look, it's stupid mistakes. We shouldn't have had Shroud with the bomb, but for some reason it just kept happening round after round after round. And yeah, Shroud just seemed to be too comfortable holding the bomb. I'm not really sure how they don't fix that in the game. Surely someone would just say, Shroud, drop the bomb, give it to dapr, and let's try and get on this offensive round over towards the B bomb side. But for whatever reason, every single round they kept doing that. So look, maybe they've learned their lesson now, and the Hopium is back in full force. But look, we're gonna have to see, right? Shroud's been practicing dropping the spikes. So maybe this will be a key turning point that Sentinels need. And just to look at this, actually, just to mention as we look at the bracket for tomorrow, the upper bracket for NAVCT has been set. These are the teams with the most clutches so far. Cloud9, Sentinels are actually right up there with the top 7 out of 46. That was the thing, I think, in the Sentinel series against the Guards. The Guards barely had to clutch any rounds, and Sentinels actually clutched quite a lot of rounds out. But yeah, of course, the Guard won the series, so probably shows something a little bit about the way the teams were set up to play. But this is the bracket right now. 2 games that once again go on today, 4 more games to happen for the rest of the weekend before we take a few days break and then come back next time around. The Guard play Cloud9. I do think this can be a close series. I'm going to marginally favour Cloud9 in this one, I think. The Guard were great against Sentinels, but they didn't really play that well, to be honest. They were also very sloppy. So I think that on peak form, Guard can be the better team here, but I'm going to take Cloud9 in 3 because why not at this point? And then the other series today, Sentinels Shopify Rebellion. I predicted Sentinels to make some sort of run in this tourney, so I suppose I've got to do it, try and pick them to win this series. They're not going to win this in 2, and I think it's going to be a 3-mapper if they are going to win it. Shopify Rebellion are a good team. There's no doubt about that. B-Dog, of course, could well turn up here, but look, if they know to give dapr the bomb and the spike and he actually gets it down and Shroud can just play for clutches, then I think that they can turn a corner as a team. It's tough to kind of reconfigure the squad after so many years out of play in Shroud, but they are going to need to do exactly that tonight. Very much intrigued to your thoughts and all this stuff in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new as always, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time.
Yeah, I think they want us to clear for their teammates coming out of hookah.
Oh my god.
Oh, you got 2!
Oh my god.
Wow. Oh, it was actually worst case scenario. And the Fade got them both ulted.
Still maybe win this, right? I mean,
it's doable. It's doable.
It's always doable.
Just push his way forward.
Oh, they got the angle. They won't expect it.
They have no lineups. Yeah, they know they're both there. They know they're both there. Oh, actually caught both of them. The C's caught. Wait! It caught both of them! Oh my god! I've actually never seen it work that well. Yeah, I've never seen it work that well.